Good morning, everyone. My name's Tyson McGinnis, and I'm the Regional Innovation Director for Atlantic Canada, based in PEI. And it's my pleasure today to have a chance to introduce Dave Iwanko of CleanBands. Dave has quite an experience as a longtime entrepreneur. Actually, previous to founding CleanBands in 2021, his company was selling over 50 million of food service disposables across the world with his team based in PEI. And then, of course, during the pandemic, some things obviously not so good about the pandemic, but for Dave, an idea emerged around hand hygiene, and that sparked a new business for him in CleanBands. As a former restaurant owner myself, I was really immediately intrigued by the solution that Dave has developed in terms of a new tech solution to a major food safety challenge facing the sector. Whether you're an independent restaurant or a quick service brand or another type of food company, it has wide application potential. Personally, I see several key benefits. You know, when you look at regulatory compliance and making sure that you're on the right side of that as a company, that's obviously something that's always a concern for any restaurant or other food company. But as well in terms of protecting your brand, we've seen some news stories in the past that have gotten out and have caused significant stock erosion and brand damage when these things don't go right in terms of hand hygiene. And then, of course, there's significant financial consequences if those things do materialize. So I'm not going to go any further. I'd love to now welcome Dave to tell you more about the exciting work he and his team is doing at CleanBands.
Thanks. Thanks, Tyson, and good morning, everyone. CleanBands is thrilled to be an award recipient for the FoodTech Next Challenge. My name's Dave Iwanko. I am from Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. I am the inventor, founder, and CEO of CleanBands. I really appreciate the opportunity to spend a few minutes telling you about our company and the innovation we're bringing to food safety in the food industry right here in Canada. Did you know that 9 out of 10 foodborne illness outbreaks are caused by poor hand washing compliance? You know, when you go into a restaurant washroom and you see signs posted on the walls reminding employees to wash their hands before returning to work, does it ever make you think that maybe they're not? Well, the CDC knows that restaurant employees wash their hands 1 out of 3 times that they're supposed to. Managing hand washing in restaurants is tough because it's a busy place to work, plus hand washing is typically done out of sight and becomes invisible after the fact. CleanBands has addressed this problem by developing a system to make hand washing visible, trackable, and marketable. Hand washing discipline is a real problem with consequences. As an example, in 2020, Chipotle paid a $25 million settlement to the US government to avoid criminal charges related to hand washing discipline and norovirus outbreaks. It caused a significant drop in stock value and damaged the brand's reputation. Hand washing and temperature control are the biggest drivers of food safety risk in food service. So what are the current solutions? Well, typically signs and forms, if anything at all. This is the updated Chipotle HACCP form that was implemented as part of the settlement with the US government. So now the shift supervisor initials that everyone on the team has washed their hands between tasks and after washroom breaks. That's the control, and that's really no control at all. There has to be a better way, and spoiler, there is. CleanBands will be first to market with a system that solves the visibility and compliance management problem of hand washing for food safety. It's innovative, I invented it, and we have a patent on it now. The system has 3 parts. The first is the CleanBand itself. So team members wear Apple Watch-like bands which display traffic light colors to indicate their hand washing status to both themselves, managers, and the consumer. The band colors ensure that employees know when to wash their hands and for how long. Every single hand hygiene event is tracked. So with hand washing oversight being handled by CleanBands, management can focus on customer experience and revenue generating tasks. Second part is a dashboard. So all of those hand wash events are now up in the cloud. Management dashboard creates metrics and graphs that clearly communicate those wash events and calculate compliance rates for individuals, locations, and roll-ups for the entire brand. So we can even send alerts to a supervisor about an employee who has never really washed their hands in way too long. The third and final part is the marketing and branding system. So all this wash data is used to generate a CleanBands rating that the brand can market against to prove how important guest food safety is to them, to their customers. The CleanBands Clean Hands branding will become a widely accepted standard to communicate compliance in their operations to the public. So imagine a front door sticker that proclaims this location is a 5-star CleanBands Clean Hands business, like a health department rating sticker for hand washing. So our goal is to be the Yelp, the TripAdvisor, like the Google reviews all around hand washing. So that's our system, but let me tell you a little bit more about how it works. When the employee goes to wash their hands, they tap a band. They tap the band at a sensor located at the wash sink. So this turns the band to flashing blue. Band stays flashing blue for the amount of time that the restaurant wants the employees to wash their hands for, so say 15 seconds. After 15 seconds, the band vibrates and goes to a solid blue, visually signaling that the employee can stop washing their hands. Then the employee taps their band back to the sensor, indicating that they're done washing. If the wash was successful, the band turns green and the employee can return to work. If the employee did not wash their hands as expected, either for too short a period of time or they weren't doing a hand rubbing motion, then the wash will be failed. Food service employees are not against hand washing. CleanBands is a tool to help this typically low-skilled but trained workforce do what they have been trained to and need to be doing. To help with adoption, we've even built in an incentive program. So Clean Points will reward employees for hand washing accomplishments. Increased hand washing is not only good for food safety, but it will result in lower employee illness and absenteeism, which is a real benefit in labor shortages. Our primary go-to market strategy is to sell to multi-unit, chain, QSR fast food industry. Chain food service is a massive market. In North America alone, there's more than 2,000 brands, each with more than 100 locations. For us, if we look at the top 50 chains, there's an addressable market for CleanBands of over $800 million and 160,000 distinct locations. We're going to be first to market with this technology. Our business is both a hardware and SaaS revenue model. In the first year, the average customer location will spend $5,000, and the years after, $2,500. So on monthly terms, that's about $10 a band per month. We have an experienced team. This team has worked together for many years on multiple projects, including startups, enterprise business scaling, and software development in the industry. I personally have started and exited multiple businesses in the industry. Myself and Eric have held VP and C-level leadership positions in a major food industry manufacturer. We're collaborating with industry-leading mechanical engineers also to make sure that our hardware is ready to scale. So a little bit about our progress. I came up with the idea in 2020. I've had hundreds of conversations with knowledgeable industry people to validate, to gauge interest, and to flesh out the concept. In 2021, we started working on the technology, the software development, and we received our patent. Over the past year, we've publicly shown the system for feedback at Restaurant Canada show in Toronto in May, and then in Chicago at an executive food safety show. I was extremely encouraged by the feedback we received. As an example, VP of Global Food Safety from Walmart, she says, this is really cool technology. This is exactly the type of thing that we're looking to implement into our stores. We have primarily been self-funded at this, and in the last year, we've had some additional support from NRC, IRAP, thank you, and the province of PEI. We're working through the final stages of a simulated trial with these guys before we move on to the next. And just jumping ahead on our commercialization strategy, will primarily be focused on the top 200 chains. We have clear future roadmaps to extend the technologies beyond chain food service into other applications such as institutional food, retail grocery, manufacturing processing. Outside of food, there's also applications into healthcare and so on. But before we go there, so happy today to be announcing our partnership with CFIN and the next stage of our journey to revolutionize hand washing safety in the industry. Our FoodTech Next project is all about getting our technology out of the test environment and into the real world. The overall objective is to take the technology from where it is now to an early commercialization stage where the entire ecosystem is ready to be used by industry across Canada and eventually the US. Thanks to CFIN, we're starting field trials in Charlottetown next month, and hopefully over the year we will be expanding to multiple testing locations with multiple testing partners right across the country. Our first public display of the system will be in cooperation with a Charlottetown Robbins Donut franchisee who is allowing us to test in his stores. We're going to be gathering valuable operational, technical, and customer data, which lets us continue to refine our system. So our award was for about $245,000, and FoodTech Next funding will primarily be used to fund direct and fractional software, electronics, and mechanical engineering resources. So we've got a whole bunch of milestones to make over the next year, but making it simple, we're going to go to one location with 10 CleanBands. Then we're going to go to 2 locations in about 20, then 4. And by the end of the project, our goal is to have 1,000 of these things deployed in use by food service workers across Canada and be at a technology readiness level of 7. We've talked to a lot of people about this. Our innovation is intuitively simple and easy to understand. The public gets it, restaurant customers get it, and the industry gets it. Our challenge is the execution of bringing the technology into use in the industry. So we're looking to have conversations with more of you. Please come find myself or my co-founder Suzanne's in the audience. I'd be happy to explain in excruciating detail about what we're doing, what our execution plans, and really where we think this is going. To those of you in the industry who are technology positive, who are clean and safe focused brands, we're looking for additional testing locations. We're looking for industry collaboration opportunities and ultimately customers, of course. And later on this year, I'm looking for additional investors for our pre-seed round coming up. If I don't get the opportunity to speak with you directly, please look me up online. I'm around. Once again, thank you to CFIN for this funding. It's a transformative event for the CleanBands company in commercializing the technology. CleanBands, clean hands, simple solution to a pervasive industry problem. Thank you.